owe Jackie your 10% the next time you win.
Yeah.
Jackie will straighten me out, that's for sure.
Oh, yes. Get ready. Okay. So, well, that was exciting. Wow.
Dude, I'm pumped.
I think we might just want to stop right there. I don't know if this meeting's going to get any better. We're going to the casino.
Cash your check.
So, okay.
Cash, baby. Cash is king.
I don't know if everybody has seen this, and if you are not checking into Lightspeed, then you've probably missed some things. But Lightspeed, there is, they just rolled out Action Leads. So they are doing leads, and now we all know leads are not for the faint of heart, right? It takes a lot of work, and I think agents have realized it's not you make one call and you get a deal. That's not what it is at all. But it is, I would never use paid leads as my main source of getting business. However, it could be a bonus. And this one you do not pay up front. This one is a 25% referral fee upon closing. But if you go to Lightspeed, and if you scroll down, you'll find Axon Leads. This is not Fizbo.com. Fizbo.com is something else. This is free. You can sign up, you get leads, and if you close them, you pay them 25%. And OpCity's charging 40, so that's a better deal than OpCity. 25 is good. And but there's the rules on it. Kind of talks about it in there. And when you're closing, when you're converting, they're going to give you more. So I think the better you do, it's kind of like OpCity. That's what they do. They rate you. So, and we were on the huddle this morning, and it sounds like you get a phone call. It's not an app on your phone. It's going to be a phone call. So somebody on the huddle was saying, "Oh, I have that spam filter on my phone." So you might not want to do that if you're in sales. If you are in sales, I would not recommend you do a spam filter, because it's gonna, you know, it could filter out potential leads, and if you're on this lead program, it's going to filter them out for sure. So, but it is, and if you don't answer, they go on to somebody else, it sounds like.
And if you fail to pay them, guess what happens? Not only are you billed the money, you're also asked to leave Axon. You do not pay your dues, you are not with Axon anymore.
So don't try and cheat the system. If you legitimately get a lead, pay the 25%.
They didn't say it on today's huddle, but they said it early on when they were announcing that this was coming down the pipe.
Right, because they're spending a lot of money to do that.
That person that's doing the calling is the ISA. That 25% goes towards paying those ISAs.
So these are actual ISA leads. These aren't like leads that are coming in off of Facebook, or if they are, they're scrubbing them. So they're paying for the leads, and they're paying for the people to scrub them. Yeah. So they should be better leads.
Yes. It's the same as how when OpCity, by the time they get it to you, OpCity has already got them on the phone. They've already confirmed the phone number. They've already confirmed the email. So they are verified leads.
Right.
Oh, sorry, what's an ISA?
What?
What's an ISA?
They're the person who's going to call and scrub these leads from Axon.
What's ISA stand for?
Internal Sales Associate, but what they just call. They just handle calls, and when they get a live one, they're going to refer it to an agent.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. So, at the very least, everybody, if you are not logging in to Lightspeed, you are behind. And eventually, Google Drive is going away. So everybody needs to get onto Lightspeed. There's a lot of other things. There's partners, right, Jackie, that you can partner with for leads?
Lightspeed is designed to be your one-stop shop to help you find your quick links too. So even like if you can't remember how to get to Lofty, it's right there in Axon. Like Fetch is not easy to get to. It's easier to get to it from Lightspeed, which I will be showing you how to do that. Getting to things that if you have not bookmarked them, your Lightspeed is your easy one-stop shop platform that has everything for your business of real estate.
And they emailed you credentials, and it went to your Axon email.
Correct.
So here's a couple of clues. You should be checking your Axon email, and you also should be logging in to Lightspeed.
And then currently for Visalia people, if you're wanting to, mostly Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm doing, getting the new people onboarded. If anybody needs that too, I'll start doing Porterville on Mondays to do like little, let's get you through your classes.
Jackie got everybody on there, and then there's all kinds of classes. Anything that you want to know about is on Lightspeed, literally anything. So, of course, we still are doing our trainings. I still do my trainings. Jared's doing his. Billy's going to start doing some trainings. But you also have on demand, which is the beauty of it. We have both, right? We not only have our local expertise, we've got on demand training at any time on any subject you guys want. So, make sure you're utilizing it. Anything else, Jackie, that's housekeeping that we need to talk about?
Mostly Lightspeed was the main thing that I wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
And then-
Jackie, you're going to be our mentor?
No.
No, so as a brokerage, Sarah and I signed up for the mentor program with Accent, but in reality, what they're doing as a mentor is they're just telling you, get on Lightspeed, get integrated with the Accent stuff, and basically also helping hold you accountable for your transactions. That is clear across the board for all of our agents that we are already doing for you.
So we don't
that
have to sign up for it.
So that mentoring program that you saw, JP, is for agents who are not with downtown.
Yeah.
That is for like an independent Accent agent who is brand new and does not know what to do. We
Okay.
do our own mentoring. You're
Okay.
you're on Jared's team, so he is your mentor. You don't need
Yeah.
to double. You don't need double mentoring.
And then just because you're on Jared's team, you still have Sarah and I to help you when you have questions and
Right.
whatnot.
Right. But you don't need that mentoring program.
We're not calling a mentoring program, we're here with all the trainings. Our system as an office is its own program itself.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so today we are going to talk about farming, geo farming, and it's one of the pillars for lead gen, right? What's wrong?
Oh wait, the chat, did you want to announce Jim's?
Oh, okay, on the chat. Jim is looking for someone to do an open house for his new listing at 68 North Corona. It's going live today, and he's hoping for somebody to do an open house this weekend. So if anybody is wanting to volunteer and do an open house for Jim, reach out to Jim Carson.
Okay. That
Are
way.
we recording?
Yes,
Okay, and how do I click the thing?
we're gonna be scrolling down because, why is it auto doing twice?
Okay, so what we're going to cover today, now my part of this is going to be kind of short and sweet. We're just kind of going over what geo farming is. Jackie's going to get on Fetch, which is that software program through Agenda Title, where you can do your own search and you can do your own geo farming. So we're going to cover what is geo farming, how to choose your farm area, building a strategy, marketing tools and tactics, timelines, consistency, and tracking your return on investment and success. Okay, so in the middle of this, if you guys have questions, speak up, because I'll be able, and then,
Here, sorry. It's being sensitive today. We're gonna show you how to get there.
yeah, she's going to show you how to do it. So, what's geo farming? So geo farming is picking a particular neighborhood that you are going to farm, right? And it can be, in larger cities, they have a lot of little communities that are, some agents just specialize in one area. We don't have that as much here. In Porterville, you've got, what do you have, Westwood Estates, you've got Sierra Meadows, you've got those kind of areas. So definitely,
Keep going, you're fine.
okay, but now I can't see.
Okay, sorry. There was background noise.
Okay, so so farming a neighborhood, you want to be the known agent there, right? So the goal is name recognition, trust, and becoming the agent that people think about first, which is how you should be doing your business anyway, right? You want to be the agent that people think about first, whether that is being top of mind for your sphere of influence, or being in social media, the one they're looking at, or you know, any way that you're going to be in front of people and be the one that they think of to call when they're ready to buy or sell. You want to focus, you want to be specific about the farm you choose. Don't be random, because, and don't pick too large of a farm area, because you might pick 1,000 people and you send out 1,000 postcards one time, you don't get any response, and then you go, that doesn't work, I'm not doing that. Start small. Start, even if it's 50. Figure out what your budget is and figure out what that's going to look like over a year, and consistently market to that group, whether it's 50 or 100. Don't do 1,000 people once, do 100 people 10 times. You're going, because it takes more than one time to get a response.
Well, Sarah,
So, yes,
can you narrow down the zip code?
there's only one zip code in Porterville,
The zip
so
code's
that's not
too
going to
big.
work.
No, I mean anywhere in Visalia or whatever.
You can, but it's going to be huge. It's
That's
too
too
large.
big.
So, I mean, unless you want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars every month, which again is probably not going to work, my advice would be start by a neighborhood, go by a neighborhood that you pick, and then once you close an escrow in that neighborhood, maybe expand to 2, because now you have some resources. Right now you've made some money. So that would be my thoughts on how to do it. I wouldn't do zip code. It's because there could be, when we did mailers by zip code, Jackie, how many were in a zip code?
When
Oh,
we
yeah,
just
that- no.
did, no, when we did Porterville, just multi-family for the property management, it cost, it was 1,000 property owners. That
But
was
so
just
my
owners
question, I
that
guess,
own
was,
multiple properties.
I guess my question was, can you narrow it down by the neighborhood or the
Yes,
development?
that is what she said to do.
Yeah, narrow it
Okay.
down by the neighborhood, like Westwood Estates, Sierra Meadows, Montgomery Ranch, whatever.
So you
it's
can
gonna-
you can get those addresses in that area.
Yes, we're gonna get to that. So
Okay. Okay.
we're gonna
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Why geo farming works. 82% of sellers choose an agent they already know or who has marketed to them repeatedly. 82% is huge. That gives you a huge advantage over people. 7 times more likely to list with an agent who has a strong, consistent presence in their neighborhood. 18 months is the average time before geofarming efforts produce a steady stream of organic listings. That's why you don't want to overspend. You want to start small. I mean, you may be lucky and get, it's all about timing, right? You may be lucky and get something that in 3 or 4 months, but it could take you a year and a half. Once you close something, I mean, that's going to fund it forever, right? That's going to, if you spent $500 a month, that would cost you $6,000 a year. If you close one deal, average commission is $12,000. You're already $6,000 ahead. You paid for that, and you can fund your next year's, right? That's kind of the way to look at it. Your return on investment. 3 to 5% target market share in a farm area is considered a dominant, profitable position. So if you have 3 to 5% market share, you're doing really good. How to choose your farm area. Don't just do it willy-nilly. I mean, you can. You might want to do the neighborhood you live in. That might be a good one, right? Because you live there. But run the numbers. Pull the MLS data for turnover. See how many listings have been, or how many sales in that neighborhood. If it's something where there's not a lot of sales, it may not be worth your time. But if it's a transitional neighborhood where you're seeing some activity, that's probably a good one. And then I would look at those sales and I would see which agents dominate in that neighborhood. If there's nobody that's dominating, that's a good one. If there's somebody that's dominating and you want to buck up against them, Maybe, but they've already got traction and you're fighting an uphill battle. I would honestly go to a different neighborhood that nobody is dominating in. You know, that's my opinion, because we want to be as effective as we can. We don't want to waste money on this. We want to wisely use our money.
Because you might just be feeding that other person's pot.
You might be. And because you want to farm a neighborhood where realistically you can win. If somebody's had a grip on that neighborhood for 10 years, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole unless they retire or die.
There's too many other places to just pick the.
That's right. That's right. There's too many other places, so don't limit. Jackie, I can't scroll that down. Okay. To go up.
Let's go.
It's right there.
So, right?
It's this one.
4 and 6. Perfect.
Yep. So you've got to use a multi-touch toolkit, right? So direct mail, just listed, just sold postcards, market update newsletters, seasonal and holiday cards. This is all postcards. These are all ideas for postcards. So postcards cost money, and you got to figure out those are the ones that actually cost money. So if you're sending a postcard every month, you better factor that in. Jackie's going to show us. You have a link, right, where we can get some cheaper postcards.
We're going to touch on it, but I hit a wall yesterday. So as I uncover it, we will go deeper into it. But I'm going to give you the base point.
Yes, we have the basic. We don't know the details yet, but we have a way through Axon, correct? Through Agenta title that you can get the postcards way cheaper. So we're trying to get that information. In-person touch points, door knocking, neighborhood open houses, community events, local event participation. So it could be a neighborhood wide yard sale. Another one is
4th of July's coming up.
4th of July. You could walk around with flags with your door knock, and it doesn't have to be salesy, guys. It could just be, hey, I love this neighborhood. I love America. Here's a flag. And you've got to find creative ways. If you are knocking on doors and asking if they want to sell their house, it's going to be short-lived. You're not going to have a good response. If you are knocking on their door and giving them something, they're going to be excited about that. Chris and I did market analysis. We kind of had it was Centex, right, Chris? And it was a neighborhood that we knew had quite a few sales, and they had only a few floor plans. Chris and I kind of knew what the average sales price was for each particular floor plan, and then we pulled the county records, because you've got it on your phone as you're walking from house to house. You can see what their floor plan is. You could kind of give them an idea, and Chris would offer them a market analysis. I mean, that takes some time. You're probably not going to do a whole neighborhood. You could break it up like over a weekend. You could do neighborhoods. You could do any kind of.
Remember, we had 3 separate comps of the floor plans.
Yes.
And on the back, as we were walking up, there was some more stuff in it, and then it was like your estimated sight unseen
That's
value
right.
was.
That's right.
I would look at these, and then I would look at this one, and if this one looked like it was equal, or if it was maybe not in as good a shape, or something like that, I would, so I would literally spitball it on as I was walking and be like, okay, this one looks well taken care of. Okay, yeah, we'll go at this price.
Did anything come about?
We had multiple conversations. We didn't really follow up.
Sometimes people get
You're
that kind of price,
inconsistent.
and then they refer you to somebody else, and you don't even know.
Yeah,
you know?
we were inconsistent,
Good.
Chris and I, but if you're gonna do something like that, I would definitely do it in the neighborhood that you're gonna farm. And I would do it after I've already touched them a few months. I wouldn't do it
We
the
got
first.
multiple appointments from it though.
We did get appointments. I wouldn't do it the first month. I would do it after they kind of know your face. And they'd be like, oh yeah, I've seen your flyer. So, whatever you're doing, door knocking, come up with something that is coming from a place of contribution, and then see. If you're lucky enough to get an open house going in that neighborhood, volunteer, even if it's not your listing, see if you can do an open house, and then definitely door knock with that open house. I mean, don't miss that opportunity with that open house. Is there anything else? Oh, our food drive. That's a community sponsorship. I mean, if you're farming an area, request that neighborhood to do our annual food drive. because what better way to give back? And I mean, it's just a whole nother level of it, right? Digital presence. So that's going to be Facebook, Instagram. I know you can do Facebook pages for communities. It's probably going to take a little bit of work, and you got to find out how to invite people, how to do it, but you can.
And being in that, it's easier if you're doing your own neighborhood, like even being that neighborhood, that next door app, being in there to communicate with the neighbors, that is a very good one too.
Right.
Is there somebody that does the social media for you that you can pay?
I'm sure you can. I mean, I do my own, but there's companies, yes, that you
It just
can
takes
pay.
up a lot of time. And when you're not social media savvy like Ronnie.
Hi, Jason. This is Sharice. I can get in touch with you and refer a social media ambassador to you for cheap.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
Thanks, Sharice. Yeah. I think all of us in this room do our own, so we don't have any resources for that, but yeah. So if anybody wants a social media guru, Sharice has some contacts for that. So next door profile. Has anybody ever done that next door? Yeah, and that targets a neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And then a Google business profile for the area. You can do that as well. Community building, sponsor local events or sports teams. Now that is going to be, I guess, if you have a neighborhood that's in a particular school district, I would guess. I know up in Clovis, like the schools are very, like where my son lives, they're all Buchanan, right? And they all circle. It's the way it is. It's the community. It's be very easy to pick a neighborhood and know all of those children go to that. I guess it's the same thing here. You know, you could pick not Rockford, right? Because they come from all different areas, but maybe Burton. I don't know. Partner with local businesses. Host neighborhood shred events. That one would be interesting. Do a shred event. I mean, I know Jared posted on Facebook the dump that he did dumps, but you could do it for a neighborhood.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good idea.
You could do it for a particular neighborhood.
Sponsor
Pass
neighborhood.
out flyers, and hey, that would be an awesome one. Hey, I'll be here on Saturday between 8 and 12. I'm doing dump runs. Anything you don't want, put it on the curb. I'll pick it up and take it for you. You don't think they're going to remember Jared after that? They will. They will for sure. You've got to make sure it's not one thing that's going to get it, guys. You've got to do numerous things. So it's got to be mail, social media, Lofty. Once you get these people, and Jackie's going to show you how to do a Geo Farm where you can get emails for these people. You can put them in Lofty. You could start sending them neighborhood updates. You could start sending them market updates. But Lofty is a way. Or you could do just specific emails for that group. You could tag them a certain way. So you're touching them, you're doing some kind of mail. They're getting something in the mail. You're going to do something that's online or email. You could call them if you have a phone number, right? You could call them. You may not want to call them every month, but you could call them, once every quarter or every 6 months. And then the community, the in-person. Being involved. I know when I used to pass out flyers, one of them, this one time got me a sale and a listing. I had buyers that wanted to be in a particular neighborhood, and I did this flyer, and it was not fancy. It just said, if you know of anybody, if you or anyone in this neighborhood is interested in selling, I have 2 qualified buyers that want to buy in this neighborhood. I got a listing and a sale out of it. Because actually I got 3 sides. I got the buyer bought that one, those people listed with me, and then they bought something else. And I just walked around door to door, and I did it on a Saturday morning because people are, especially during the spring and the fall, they're outside, they're mowing their lawns, they're watering. It wasn't a big heavy sales thing. It was just like, hey, I'm just passing this out if you know of anybody. And that was it. And then they want to talk sometimes, like, oh, do you know, oh, what's the market like? Oh, what are you thinking? you know, because most of those people it's Saturday morning, they're not working. So definitely, but you've got to do a combination. They've got to see it on their phone, see it in their mailbox, and maybe at their front door. And then if they, you know, and go from there. So if you're going to do a 12-month farming plan, and I don't want you guys to get discouraged, it takes, I believe it's 9 to 10 touches before you ever get acknowledged. So if you get something in 3 or 4, you're lucky. And with geo farming, it's just like the same as cold calling. It's not going to be the first touch. It's going to be, or even leads, the leads you get, it's not the first call. You know, that's what your sphere of influence is for. So if you know, we know cold calling is hard, leads are hard, you know, it's tough, but you've got to be consistent with it. And if you get something sooner, be thankful. If you don't, expect it. Because
So Sarah, something came to my mind. What about the little flyers you put on windshield wipers in the parking lot of a supermarket?
well, you could do that, but that's not really farming, because you're going to get a different group of cars in the parking lot every single time.
But they're shopping at the same market.
Yeah, but you have no way of getting that. You have no way of getting, you need to touch people more than once, JP. How are you ever going to know that you're going to get those same people again?
Yeah. Okay. It was just curiosity.
Yeah, and you don't even know if they're a homeowner, right? I mean, that would, to me, you could do that, but that's not what we're talking about with geo farming. This
Yeah.
is
And then the people
geographically,
that also advertise on the shopping carts.
yeah, that's a waste of money.
Yeah.
I've done it before. That's expensive and it's a waste of money.
Be strategic and direct.
Yes, this is about having a plan and being strategic with it. So month 1 is research and setup. You want to check your MLS turnover data. You want to finalize your farm boundary. And you want to order your homeowner contact list with a service. But we're going to show you how you can do your own homeowner contact list. That's the second part of this training. So by the end of the month, you should have every address, owner name, and mailing address in your farm. And it all should be in Lofty, and it all should be tagged. And as you meet people in your farm, you might only have an address, right, for some of them, but you might get a phone number and add it to Lofty, and you might get an email address and add it to Lofty. Find them on Facebook. There is so much you can do with Lofty.
And the smart thing to do, just like how you make on Lofty the QR code for just open house, having one strictly for that neighborhood and having on all your marketing pieces that is targeting that said neighborhood. So the minute anybody engages with that QR code for said neighborhood, they're automatically tagged into said neighborhood that you are targeting.
Right. So there's just so much you can do with it. Okay. Month 2, brand and launch. Design your introduction mailer. Start with a mailer. It's something they see. It's something they hold on to. That should be the first piece that they get. And you should brand it, right? Whatever, I would use the same picture. I would use, if it's an email you're sending, the same picture, the same one on the postcards. It's branding, right? Let them see it. They recognize you. Make sure, get your next door and your neighborhood Facebook group profile set up. Start posting as a local resource, not advertising. This is not an advertising thing. This is coming from contribution. You're going to get the most response if you're coming from contribution. Months 3 through 6, this is where agents either build the habit or they give up. Don't give up. If you give up, you get nothing. It takes time. And make sure that you're touching them 3 ways every single month, and do not give up. I get it. Some months you're not going to have their emails, but maybe if you door knock, if they answer, you could say, hey, can I put you in my database? I'd love to email you some information about the neighborhood once in a while. Can I get your current email? Who's going to say no? They're not going to. I'd rather give out my email than my phone number, right? Because I can just delete them on email. Phone number, I get too many calls.
Well, and Jared showed me some magnets that he had made down the street from Porterville. You could also get a different style magnet and mail it out in a mailer, and they put it on their maybe
Or
put
you
it on
could
their
walk,
refrigerator or something.
and that's a good idea, JP. You could walk around and pass them out. You're giving them something. You could also do like the football and the baseball schedules.
Yep.
You know, I mean,
Oh
there's so
yeah,
many
just like
things.
Jim did that.
I used to do the recipe cards, and I got a lot of business from the recipe
You
cards.
gotta keep costs low, cause if you put your place too big, if you're trying to mail something on a regular postcard, regular envelope, post stamps are 70 cents now. So, if you are getting the mailer, the real concept as to why the mailer is through the Agenta aspect, you can get it as cheap as 10 cents. 70 cents a stamp, that's not including the cost of the envelope and whatever you insert there, it's gonna be very costly, especially the minute you get up to 100
Right.
houses.
Right. I would at Christmas time also send out handwritten Christmas cards to my farm, my neighborhood. I mean, and I don't mean like pre-done ones. I would write out, I would sign it, I would hand address it, and I would send, it means a lot to people. So definitely I would watch that. But yeah, I mean, you could do the magnets, and if you don't want to mail them, you could walk around and hand them out. Or
Well, I
you could
think
put
the
them on the
Geo Farming, you would just walk around and put them on their doorstep or whatever.
You could, but you gotta hit them 3 different ways, right? So you gotta make sure that you're consistently doing that. I would do just sold postcards. You could do calling. Once you get phone numbers, you could call and tell them what's going on in the neighborhood. Hey, this one just got listed. This one just sold. Offer market analysis. See if you can give them a value on theirs.
Free
And make
value.
sure every single time you touch them that you put it in your lofty. Every single time you put it in lofty, so you are not repeating yourself, and you can go back to the conversation and say, oh yeah, I spoke to you in February, and you know, they know that you're keeping track of it. When I did the recipe cards, I would get listings, I would go in people's houses, and there was my recipe cards on their refrigerator, and I love that. Men maybe don't love it so much, but women love that. They love the recipe cards, and you can get them for like barbecues and stuff like that. There's all kinds of them, but just find whatever your thing is and go with it and be comfortable with it. And any closing in your farm can be a just sold mailer, and that doesn't have to be your listing. That's public knowledge. You can send that out to anybody. Then you might want to, after you're into it, like 6 to 9 months, you want to do a community. You might want to do a community event. It might be a giveaway. It might be, I don't know. I have no idea. Like the community pickup. It could be anything. Just get creative. Go on chat and ask, what is a good community event for the area I'm farming? It's going to give you a million ideas.
Our food drive. The food drive doesn't have to be only in.
Yes, you could do a food drive.
Any time of the year.
Just because we do it, you guys see how we do it, you can do it. You could do a toy drive, you could do a coat drive. I mean, you can do anything to give, anything that you do that gives back to the community, I think is good. People like that. I think they truly do. We did, out in Westwood Estates, remember when we did the Halloween, the trick-or-treat at a vacant house? It was a house we had listed, and Mike Bumpus was kind enough to let us set up out there, and people came by, and they did enter the raffle for a drawing, and we did get leads out of it.
Yeah, we got like almost shy of 100.
Yeah, so it definitely. So make sure, like I said, that you guys are being consistent, right? That's the thing. So now we know, pick your farm, be consistent, and budget. Look, know your numbers before you invest. Direct mail could be $200 to $600. That's depending on if it's 50 cents to $1.50 per home. Digital ads, if you're running ads on Facebook, Instagram. Door knocking materials. You can pay for flyers. I think you could create some stuff yourself. You don't have to do like door hangers, that kind of thing. I would say that's free, unless you're passing something out. And maybe you're gonna do that once in a while. And community sponsorships, if you're gonna do something like that, I would allow 100 to 500. So rule of thumb is budget $1 per home per month. So if you are a 500 home farm, budget $500 per month. That should be plenty. That should absolutely be plenty. So tracking your farm's performance. So you should know your market share, right? How many listings divided by the total neighborhood sales. You'll be able to figure your market share. Listing appointments. How many appointments did you get? Response rate. Cost per, how much did it cost you? If you've been doing this for 2 years and you've spent $4,000, how much did it cost you to get one sale out of it? Or did you get 2? And name recognition. Ask, have you heard of me? Are you getting my flyers? Are you on my email list? It's okay, ask them. And track point frequency. Track that you're hitting each home 18 to 24 times per year across all channels. So this is the same concept of what we're doing with our SOI, right? We say you should have 12 to 30 touches a year, which is easy on SOI. Easy. That we're saying 18 to 24. It isn't rocket science, guys. It's strategic.
So you can do all this in Lofty and it'll track it for you, right? As long as you input.
No, it's not gonna, well, you're
As
just
you're
gonna make
plugging in the data,
notes.
yes.
Notes, it will, right? I get, and there might be a way, JP, that you could switch it to listing, but, I mean, like pending, or, I don't know.
Yeah. You could
Like putting your notes in when you touched them, when you talked to them.
Oh, yeah,
Correct.
definitely. Put your notes in there. That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Next slide.
Is it not loading?
There it goes. Okay, so here's some pro tips from the top geo farmers. Be the local expert. Share relevant market data, not national stats. Make sure the info you're giving out is accurate. Show your wins in the farm. Every just sold. Be patient but persistent. Add value with every touch point. Make sure there's value. Come from a place of contribution. Don't over farm too soon. Nail one farm before expanding. That's just what I was saying. Start with one, get something out of it, go on to the next one, and build a personal brand. Okay, so here's your steps. I think you guys kind of know what to do if you want to do a farm, if that's going to be one of the pillars for your lead generating. So what are our pillars for lead generating, right? It's SOI, open houses, social media, farming, geo farming, cold calling. There's other things, right? But if you like door knocking, I literally would farm. I do it with a farm. It's going to be more effective.
Be consistent there.
Does anybody have any questions before Jackie goes into fetch and shows you guys how to identify a neighborhood? Do you have any questions?
No, let's go.
Okay, here we go. Can you do it 15 minutes, Jackie?
Yeah, I'll go quick. So, first off, you want to go into your light speed. So from light speed, you can access your fetch, and there is a section for you to go into to learn about the pricing for postcards. We are not going to go deep into there. I'm just going to simply show you where it's at. She did post a video in Accent in the Know, as well as it is loaded into that same segment that walks you through how to create your accounts. So when you land into Accent Lightspeed, you want to go into the training center. Your username is your first last name put together as one together. So my username is Jacqueline Casillas. No spaces, just all together. Your password is in your Accent email. If you don't know it, hit forgot password and it'll go to your email. When you are wanting to go to figure out how to order postcards, where they advertised that it was as little as 10 cents a postcard, which I have never seen that pricing before. you will go down to where it has Accent Marketplace. The Accent Internal Marketplace is where you can buy t-shirts, tumblers, hats. The Marketing and Print Solutions is where you go to get to the video that shows you how to make your account from the marketing service and how to set up your program. Tried setting mine up yesterday, I reached a point where I needed a code and something, so I gotta look into to see what I'm missing to make that happen. So once I understand that better, I will do a class on how to order your postcards. But in the meantime, how to find your Geo Farm. When you go into Lightspeed, you want to come down to where it has our tools. So we have our Google Workspace, our Lofty, SkySlope, Fetch, Agent Net Marketing, and Fizbo.com. We're going to go to Fetch Geo Farming. In here, there is a 45-minute video in which the gentleman will go into far more detail of Fetch 101. I am giving you the quick snippet version of what I use it for. Now, if you want to learn what all the other random stuff they use it for, watch that 46-minute video.
And then you can teach a class to all of us.
So, when you log into Fetch, I have been in real estate 15 years. I've been using software like this since then and beforehand, because I used to use it even for when we had our taco shop. Our taco shop got postcards sent around along with it would go to the neighborhood plus my SOI, which was local businesses that I had relationships with, and they would get my monthly mailer. So here is where I would constantly use these programs to make my, get my list of where to farm. So when we do our food drive and we're trying to figure out what a neighborhood, how many houses consist in it, I use these type of programs. So you can do a single property search. So if you want to just confirm that a person owns a property, you do the property search right here in this top corner. Then you have farming statistics, buyer cost estimates, and property lead alerts. Property lead alerts is something new. It is for $30 a month. You could get an update as to an area for whenever they have like a death notice, a lien, divorce, pre-foreclosure, all of that. You get notified, and it's $30 a month.
That's pretty cheap for $30 a month.
The other places where other escrow companies are charging $75 to $60 a month. I had seen one at $120 or in another program at $300. So $30 a month, that's pretty cheap. And it covers quite a bit of properties. It said it covered 30,000 properties for $30 a month. That is crazy because I've never gotten that price point before. So you can set that up if you wanted to, but we are going to focus on farming. So when we go into farming, you have the option that you could do a radius, a boundary, an area. I always like boundaries. I like to create my shape that I like. So I always have my go-to neighborhoods, as you guys already know, based off our food drive, where my go-to neighborhoods are. Sierra Meadows, Westwood Estates, North Creek, Porter Creek, Williams Ranch. The reason why I've always targeted those is from the beginning, my brother had helped sell new construction in those neighborhoods, so he had a face there. The only one he didn't was Sierra Meadows. That was Sarah's new construction neighborhood. So Sarah helped sell more than half of that neighborhood. So would I ever really go up against Sarah for Sierra Meadows? No. We go through that neighborhood and hand out the food drive, and neighbors will turn around and say, oh yeah, we don't do that. And then they see Sarah's face and like, tell Sarah we say hi, we'll fill out her bag. Like, they love Sarah. So when picking your neighborhood, focus where you have either one, you live nearby, two, you sold homes there, or three, like you're familiar and you haven't.
And nobody else is dominating that area. Mm-hmm. That's the other key to it. If somebody dominates in an area, unless you really want to spend a lot of money and time, might not be the right move to make.
Correct. And then the key is turnover too. So when you're picking your neighborhood, so let's say if I'm just gonna go automatically to North Creek and Porter Creek just because it's one of my go-tos. So for farming, I am gonna go boundary search, and as we can see, it is a unique shape here. So I usually try to exnate the school itself. And as you see, I'm clicking around the shape, the going around wherever I'm clicking, it will turn around and create my shape itself.
And you double click at the end, right, Jackie, to,
Uh-huh. And then in the event that, like for instance, these houses got missed, you can grab your pin drop and usually move it. And then if not, there you can always start again. So like this, since I was zoomed in too much, I missed this top half. So I'm gonna do a clear search and I'm gonna start again. Farming, boundaries, and as you can see, it's not that
because
hard.
if you do radius, it's just a circle, right?
Circle.
Okay, so
And
you
so-
can miss some.
You'll miss some and then you'll get over, it's like for instance, if you're doing Westwood Estates, you don't want that neighborhood across the street. It's a whole difference. I mean, unless you really wanted that neighborhood, but you're talking about a whole different setup.
Yeah, the street name doesn't always mean the same.
Boundary was invalid, Jackie.
So what I did is I missed a square. Zoom out a little bit.
Do an easy one, so you know.
So how does the food drive work? The mailers go out? You
No.
take bags out there? What do you do?
Hang on one second, JP. Let's get through this part first here. Hang on.
Okay.
I'll answer your question. I'll answer.
Okay. Okay.
There you go. Or you're just gonna leave the school in there. It's okay. So then when we go get our count, it's gonna tell us how many properties are in our search itself. Now you can add filters to take off items that you do not want. So like for instance, if we wanna make sure, I usually try to take off all filters so that we don't have any limitations. Do, do, do.
When you want to filter out properties that are in a trust or something along those lines, because how are you going to get hold of the people?
The only reason why I don't is because at the same time, if there are renters there, I want the renters.
You want those mailers to still go there?
And if the property owner doesn't, I try to make, truthfully, when I create mine, I get both addresses. I like the physical address as well as the mailing address. Because in the event, I do want the renter as well as I want the property owner. Because if the property owner is not here, they might be more willing to sell because they're not here. Versus a tenant, if they're in this neighborhood, usually they make enough money to live in a neighborhood
Well,
like this.
so when you're going to farm, you'll probably be able to hit, as long as you put in the right mailing address, you're going to be able to hit them with mails, direct mail, and maybe an email if you're lucky enough to get that, but you won't be able to do the in-person because they're not there.
Mhm. So the neighborhood I selected, and you guys are, those of you that are familiar with North Creek and Porter Creek, it was 297 properties right there. So that's 300 properties. And that's walkable. I mean, I've walked it in a day, but to walk it daily, not necessarily. When you chunk it down, you can. But when you pick the neighborhood too big, when we do our food drive there, we usually we break it into two, and we have anywhere from 3 to 5 bodies walking that neighborhood to door knock.
And then show how you do the records, Jackie, how you can pay for that.
So you can download and view the generic records, which is just the public information of the mailing address, the property owner's name. So that's what's loading right now.
And this is all on
You can
Magenta?
download.
This is all on Fetch.
Oh, Fetch. Okay.
So there it gives you the address, the zip code, when it's sold, the owner's name, the APN, property type, square footage, unit count, bedroom, bath. Tells you if it's a non-owner or an owner occupied.
And so in the event, like if you wanted to restrict, like how when Sarah had, I have a client for your neighborhood, and you're trying to find in a particular neighborhood a house with a pool because your client wants a pool, you can figure out who to target.
How do you find out, how do you go to the one, Jackie, where it shows the emails and phone numbers?
So then we go to this button up here, phone numbers and emails. And then it wants to charge us.
That's where they charge you. But I did one and it was like $17. It depends what they're giving you. I think they charge more for phone numbers, less for emails.
$17 for one?
No, for a whole group of them.
It's 17 cents contact number. And then, so when I was clicking on it last night, so even says new possible leads. So this little highlight right here tells us that in the 300 homes that I selected, there were 4 affidavit of deaths in the last 12 months, 4 liens, 2 cash buyers, and a notice of default. You can buy those details if you, individually. You can shorten it to 6 or 3 months. This is part of the information that's given at that $30 a month rate.
Oh, when you subscribe. I wonder how much it is.
So if we buy the 4 affidavits of death, let's see, what does it tell us it wants to charge?
It's all public record anyway, guys.
Yeah. But where are you gonna find it?
On the Tulare County website. I can pull all of those defaults.
So total price is $2 to get those 4.
$2 for
For
Okay.
4.
To get those 4 people. But if you were paying the $30 a month, where it's
You'd
giving
get
you
all
for
of
the 30,000,
So it's
you would have gotten it monthly already.
Okay.
So there's that one, and there is the phone number and emails that's up at this top corner next to search for an address. And then it gives you the breakdown of what the costs are to pull phone numbers and email.
And they do not have phone numbers and emails for all of them. They have some, but not all of
They
them.
might not always be correct.
Correct.
And they may not be correct.
Most of these systems, in order to improve accuracy, most commonly when they pull that data, it's oftentimes tied to the utility bills. So it's a phone number and email on record for utility bills. Let me put in the scenario. Last year when I was calling trying to break into our Edison bill, all the numbers they had for our Edison was not a single phone number I had access to. I had to spend 3 hours trying to get access to our account because they had so outdated information. So even though it should be accurate, it can still be inaccurate. So they do try, but that is one of your avenues, and I would recommend, I personally am going to consider looking into the property leads alerts.
Yeah,
because-
I mean, for $30 a month, how can you go wrong with that one? Knowing what's going on, I mean, if you know there's a divorce, if you know they're in pre-foreclosure, if you know somebody's died, there's a good chance there's gonna be some activity happening at that house.
Yeah.
And I love it because it's listings.
And
right?
for those, I would personally go automatically with, I'm here to service you, how can I help you? You know, they're going to a death and you're like a vulture saying, we'll buy your house. That's mean. But to say, hey, if there's anything you need, I'm here. That's the approach I would go with.
It does say a 5-mile radius. How far is it across town from like
Oh,
Reed to Westwood? How many miles is that?
I don't think it's that much.
Actually, I did plug in the zip code yet last night, and it covered 15,000 properties for the zip code of 93257.
Yeah, it's from here to like the girls' 3.4. So 4 miles.
So all of the Porterville, when I plugged in the zip code, it had it as just as being like almost 15,000 properties. So it would pull all of Porterville if you wanted to.
Okay.
And
So this you don't have to pay for things on here, but you have access to a whole neighborhood of stuff. I mean, you can go on, like I go on the phone and I pull up property by property, but this will give you a whole list of a neighborhood, a whole list. At least you have names and addresses. That's a starting place. You can do a mailer. If nothing else, you can start out with mailers. But if you do try and pull as many emails and phone numbers, it's going to be a one-time thing until people start moving in that neighborhood, right? So that's a small expense for a year.
yep.
There's a lot more that this does. However, we're just doing this right now.
Yeah, and so the more you want to explore, I highly encourage you. You go back into Lightspeed and watch the 46-minute training video. He was background noise for me last night, and yeah, all I said was I went back and jumped into there and was like, this is what I use it for and what I've used it for the past 15 years. You can use it for more, but pretty much when I've come to Geo Farming sites, that's what I use it for. Every time Sarah closed the listing and I would go pull the just sold flyers, I would go in, I use this, and I would always use the pencil so that I could keep it under 100 or however many head count I wanted. So I would always make my shapes to hit my 100 properties.
And I think it's important to get your GeoFarm contacts into Lofty. That's a must. Numerous reasons, so you can track it. This is the other one. I do a mass email to everybody, all my contacts in Lofty list, and every time I close something. Even if it's not their neighborhood, they're seeing that you're an active agent. Oh, Jared just listed one. Oh, Jared just sold one. Oh, look what Jared did. Even though it's not their neighborhood, it's still Jared related, right? So that's why Lofty is so, this is a super important tool. Lofty is a super important tool. Lightspeed, super important tool. If you guys are not using them, you are missing the boat. Okay? So, anybody have any questions about geofarming? Chris, what?
I just had yesterday. I was looking at a vacant property, try to get a value on it. Jared helped me, but I talked to somebody I used to work with, and he told me about this app called Land Glide, and it gives you all the purchase, sales information. It's a 7-day free trial, and I don't know how much it costs. I haven't done it yet, but it brings up all the owners and the sales history, like something you would get from a title company, like Chicago or somebody. I didn't know if anybody's used it before, but
Well, we have Crexie that I pay for. That is a commercial site that will pull up all kinds of records. I can pull up Thompson records. MLS will do the same thing. I don't know. I've never heard of it.
Yeah,
Sure.
but I was on the phone with him and he pulled it up within seconds. I'm like, well, how'd you find that information out? Who the owner is? but
Yeah.
But you got Trexie, you said? Is that something we have access to?
Crexi, Crexi.
And we have access to that?
No, that's mine,
No,
but I
just
will
you.
look something up.
Okay.
I will look something up for you if you want it.
Okay.
It's not for the brokerage. I pay for it, but if you need help with something, I'm happy to look it up.
Yeah, title searches I usually just use Chicago title, but
Yep. Okay.
But that's good.
Well, good luck, guys. Set up your farms. I think it is the most unused way of lead gen. I don't think I bet there's no one in downtown that's doing a farm. Maybe, but we'll see.
I think there's a couple, but
Okay. All right. Everybody have a good day. Thank you so much.
have a good
Go
week.
Lightspeed. Go Lightspeed. Jared, do you know how I turn that off?
Hold on. Easier.